Now, with the COVID-19 vaccine reservation system now active for people 18 and 49 years old in the country, the reservation rate is much lower than what was seen for older age groups. However, experts stress this is not just limited to South Korea, saying it's a trend seen around the world. Choi Won-jong reports.
COVID-19 vaccination booking rates are low among younger people all across the world, making health authorities worried about whether they can achieve herd immunity. One expert believes complacency could be one of the reasons behind the low rates of vaccination.
Well, I think maybe that distrust is more like complacency, because last year, in the first phase of the pandemic, young people tended not to be affected severely. So very few young people ended up in hospital, let alone dying. But this year, we're seeing a lot of young people getting infected, and that's just about every country in the world.
In South Korea, in the 18 to 49 age group, around 23% of people have said no to the vaccines. And even if more young people were interested in getting vaccinated, the current vaccine supply shortage is also making it difficult to reach 70% threshold for herd immunity. Rather, some experts think non-pharmaceutical methods will be more effective at containing the virus.
So we need to focus much more on the quarantine and isolation through the tracing and testing. However, increased prevalence need more human resources to work appropriately, unless digital technology helps them to reduce the work time. So it is now time for refocusing on the K-quarantine, especially for quarantine and isolation method by increasing the human resources rapidly.
They also said reaching a 70% vaccination rate will not be enough to allow the easing of restrictions and opening of borders, nor is it enough to avoid fresh outbreaks.
Iceland has the highest vaccination rate in the world, so it's well over 80%, and more than 90% of people over the age of 70 have been fully vaccinated. And yet Iceland is having the largest outbreak since the beginning of the pandemic.
However, he stressed that while vaccination might not stop the spread, they can still prevent many from being hospitalized or dying. Choi Won-jong, Arirang News.